Good morning, friends. Today's topic is theories of punishment. In this topic, we are discussing what is the purpose of punishment. There are various theories: deterrent theory, preventive theory, reformative theory, retributive theory, and theory of compensation. The purpose of punishment. Punishment is the imposition of an unpleasant outcome upon an individual or group of individuals meted out by an authority. The purpose of punishment is to protect the people against future harm. Purpose is to maintain law and order. Purpose is to impose social conformity. Nation has a duty to protect the society from the wrongdoers. Punishment has 5 recognized purposes. 1. Deterrence. The aim of the punishment is to create terror in the mind of the wrongdoer. Second one, preventive. Prevention of future crime by removing the wrongdoer from the society. Third one is reformative theory. It means rehabilitation of the wrongdoer. It prevents the future crime by altering the wrongdoer's character or behavior. Next one is a retribution theory. It prevents future crime by removing the desire for personal avengement against the wrongdoer. Deterrent theory. What is the object of the punishment according to the deterrent theory? Object is not only to prevent the wrongdoer from doing wrong for second time, but also to make him an example for the other person, for the society who have criminal tendencies. The aim of the punishment is not revenge, but creating terror in the minds of the criminals. The idea behind this theory is exemplary punishment should be given to the criminals so that others may have to learn a lesson from him. Solomon said, punishment should be deterrent. Deterrent punishment is the chief end of the law of crime. It is to make the evildoer an example to society. It is a warning to all those like-minded criminals. Another author, Locke, said, commission of every offense should be made a bad bargain for the offender. Offender should think twice before committing a crime. The great Indian philosopher Manu said, penalty keeps the people under control. Penalty protects the people. Penalty remain awake when the people are asleep. So punishment is a resource of righteousness. So deterrent theory is the basis of punishment in England during medieval period. Severe and inhuman punishments were inflicted even for minor offences in England. So penalty for death or mutilation of limbs was imposed even for petty offences. But there are some weaknesses in the deterrent theory. It is called as criticism of deterrent theory. Deterrent theory of punishment proved ineffective in checking crime. In spite of severe punishments in the penal law of the country, people continue to commit crime. For example, during Queen Elizabeth period, punishment for pickpocket was death. There was execution of the pickpocketer who condemned to pickpockets. Lot of people gathered to see the execution, public execution. But even there, pickpocketers are seen busy in their work of pickpocketing among the crowds. It is said that with the increase in the severity of the punishments, crimes have also increased. Deterrent punishment is likely to harden the criminals instead of creating a fear of law. So punishment loses its terror when the criminal is punished. Another theory is preventive theory. Here, as per this theory, offenders are disabled or prevented from repeating the offense by punishments like imprisonment, death, exile, forfeiture of the office. By putting the criminal in jail, he is prevented from committing another crime. By giving him a death sentence, he is deprived of an opportunity to commit crime once again. By sending the person to exile, he is deprived of committing the crime once again. So, the idea of putting the criminal in jail is that he is prevented for committing another crime. The difference between the deterrent punishment and preventive punishment. The deterrent theory aims at giving warning to the society that crime will not be tolerated. The preventive theory aims at disabling the actual criminal from doing the harm. The purpose of the deterrent theory is to set a lesson to others and show that crime does not pay. This shows that punishment follows the crime and therefore crime should be avoided. The main object of the preventive theory is to disable the wrongdoer from repeating the crime. Another important theory is the reformative theory. According to this theory, the object of the punishment should be to reform the crime. Even though offender commits a crime, he does not cease to be a human being. The offender committed crime under peculiar circumstances. The object of the punishment should be to bring about moral reforms of the offender. During the period of his imprisonment, when he was in jail, he must be educated. He must be taught some art or work. After his release from jail, he may be able to start his life. According to this theory, while awarding punishment, the judge should study what is the character of the offender, what is his age, what is his educational environment, what is circumstances under which he is committing the crime, what is the object of the crime. So, the advocates of the reformative theory says the sympathetic and loving treatment should be given to the offenders so that revolutionary change may be brought about in their character. Severe punishment will result in resistance and create a spirit of defiance of God. So, reformative theory is to be adopted in a case of juvenile offenders. The Government of India introduced Children Act 1960. It is aimed at preventing the delinquent children from becoming confirmed criminal. This act applies to children aged under 15 years. As per this act, government is to maintain and establish a reformative school. Inmates must be separated at night and proper sanitary arrangements, water supply, food, clothing, bedding should be given, and industrial training to youthful offenders should be given. Another act is the Probationer of Offenders Act 1950. Object of the criminal law is to reform the individual offender than to punish him. The act distinguishes offenders between 21 years of age and above 21 years of age and 16 years of age. Offender above 21 years of age, absolute discretion given to the court to release them after admonition or probation of good conduct. Offenders who are below the age of 21 years direction issued to the court not to sentence them to imprisonment unless there is a sufficient ground. Offender under the age of 16 years, if the offence is committed not punishable with death or life imprisonment, then court give treatment, training, rehabilitation to the young offenders. The court can order the release of the offender on probation and good conduct after admonition. Another theory is retributive theory. This theory, person wronged was allowed to have his revenge against the wrongdoer. The principle is eye for an eye, tooth for tooth. It was recognized and followed. It was recognized in ancient penology. As per this theory, evil could be purged by the evil only. Even the animals which killed human beings were get rid of for the good of the community. This theory says criminal has to pay with his body. The purpose of punishment is to gratify the desire of vengeance by making the criminal to pay his body. The criminal should meet his reward equivalent of suffering. According to this theory, punishment is to pay a debt to the law because he has violated the law. Guilt plus punishment equal to innocence. The penalty from wrongdoing is death which the offender owes his victim. When the punishment has been given, the debt is paid. The legal bond forged by crime is dissolved. Criticism of this theory. Punishment itself is not a remedy for the mischief committed by the offender. Revenge is a wild justice and punishment itself is evil. Another theory is the theory of compensation or restitution. The object of the punishment is not merely to prevent the further crimes but also to compensate the victim of the crime. It prevents future crime by punishing the defendant or wrongdoer financially. Court orders the criminal to pay the victim compensation for any harm. Compensation can be for physical injuries, loss of property or loss of money. The main spring of criminality is greed. The offender is made to return the ill-gotten benefit of the crime, then spring of the criminality would dry up. Criticism of this theory. Motive of the crime is not always economic. Offences against the state, offences against religion, offences against marriage, person may not always be measured by economic motives. There may be other motives involved in the case. Compensation may be neither workable or effective nor effective. If the offender is a rich person, the payment of any amount may be no punishment for him. Thank you.